needs a ring light when you've got a window? Hi everyone, my name is Prue. I'm the creator and writer of Please Stop Talking, and welcome back to my channel. Here is where I post my animation, art and studio vlogs and sell stickers and pins on my website. If that sounds like something you're interested in, click subscribe down below and don't forget to turn on that notification bell. So let's get into the video. Today I'm going to be talking about my process animating my original series, Please Stop Talking. So let's start with the first step, concept. Remember that idea you had? You know, the one that you had in the middle of the night? And then you jotted it down and then threw it away in the bin? Yes, that idea. Time to resurrect that piece of scrap paper and bring it to life into a hilarious script. Writing for Please Stop Talking is going to be a skill that I'm going to develop over many years. The majority of Please Stop Talking is generally from a comedic point of view, and the heart of comedy at its core is always the truth and honesty. And at the core of Bun Bun is me. Everyone's going to laugh at my pain. Great, so now you've got your inspiration, which is your general idea of where you want to go. It's time to start refining that idea into a script. Now it's time to take your painful personal life experience, storyline, and write the appropriate dialogue to mask the true events or identity of those who have wronged you. We generally want our stories to have a really nice flow. It has to flow from previous episodes. It has to sound like the character you're writing about. Bun Bun is quite dry, she's quite sarcastic, and she really likes her obvious humor. For a 1.5 minute episode, it generally takes about 1 to 2 pages worth of dialogue and staging directions. And I have to say, every single step during the process of my animation is an absolute joy, and I love it with all my heart. I love this industry. Great, so now you've got your scenes, your dialogue, your staging directions. It's time to move on to the next step, which is storyboarding. So I generally draw around 9 to 12 squares for a 1.5 to 2 minute episode. Draw a rough storyboard, which looks something like this. It's very sketchy, it's very rough, but it gives me a general idea of where I'm going and the flow. Then I take these storyboards and I turn them into a digital storyboard. And from that storyboard, I work on the color story. The great part about doing a color storyboard is when you zoom out and you get to see the scenes, you know, am I using too much black? Am I using too many dark colors? And does it match the general aesthetic of the tone of the series that I'm working on? And as you can tell, Please Stop Talking has a very soft color palette. And I even wear those colors. Great, so the next step is props, triggers, costumes, and backgrounds. So a lot like what I would do in real life if I was working on a film or a commercial is I would look at my actor in the script and I would say, well, what props are they going to need and what costume are they going to be wearing? Basically, I want these props to match the style of the show, and I also want them to be complementary to the character, but without taking too much away from the storyline. I also try to aim to put in 1 to 2 extra facial expressions per episode. Something I also try and do per episode is work on 1 or 2 extra new skills. So in this episode, I worked on keyframing where Bun Bun would move in the scene, just like here. The next step is filming. This is the part where I get to see all my hard work come together. So I like to follow a bit of a process, and it goes a little something like this. First thing I do is I dress the actor in the scene, Bun Bun, in whatever's needed. Second is I include her props. Third thing is I add the blocking and staging, where I keyframe her. And the fourth step is shooting. Basically using the exact same process that I would use with actors on stage, but digital. And then after each scene is shot, I then send that over to Adobe Encoder, render the scene, and bank it ready to be edited. Now, hear me out. I find doing a weekly animation pretty hard. Hence why I have bunny tails on the off week that I do an animation. Because I see doing a weekly animation something like this. Fast turnover, entertaining, smooth animation. Pick 2. You could have something very entertaining and smooth, but it's gonna take a long time. Or you can have something that's got a really fast turnover, really smooth animation, but kind of crappy script. Hence why I give myself 2 weeks to produce an episode instead of 1. Alright, so our next step is editing. I edit in Adobe Premiere Pro, and this is the part where I put in text, sound effects, music, and transitions. I do have a couple of presets that I use for Please Stop Talking, such as a glitch animation and a special font called VCR Mono. And I also have an Adobe library with all of the colors that I use. So then once everything is put together and I'm happy with the flow and the way it looks, I then send that off to get rendered. So the next step is the thumbnail. It's finally time to use all the skills that I learned at uni to put it into a thumbnail. Coming up with a good thumbnail is pretty hard. I need it to be different to all the other animators. I need it to have not too many colors, but enough colors to draw someone's attention. I have to make sure it has emojis, lots of emojis. I need rainbows, lots of rainbows, and rabbits, and all the things that you need for someone to look. What's clickable, clickbait, something shocking. When I do my thumbnails, I like them to be simple, to the point, and not deceptive. I also don't want my thumbnails or my branding or my banner to look like anybody else's. I think coming into this, I saw a lot of people try and copy the odd ones out, which we all probably did at one point. But guys, understand that that is his style, not yours. You want to come up with something completely different, unique, and that represents you as an artist. I'm kind of segueing away from the thumbnail vibe, but you do tend to get a lot of people in the YouTube storytime animator category tend to do all the same kind of work. There, I said it. I'm not like the other girl's speech. I create content that's different to everyone else. I make videos on the internet now and that's my job. I am genuinely making videos because I enjoy it. I would like to make a career out of what I'm doing, and I don't want to copy anyone and I don't want to be anyone else. I want to be a little grey rabbit. Our next step is to upload and share. Now, let's be real. This can be a pretty jagged little pill to swallow. Spend all this time animating, days, hours, all this brain power to get 2 views, and they're probably your mum both times. Now, unless you're making viral makeup videos of you applying your makeup with a banana, it's probably not going to go viral. It's ridiculous. You know, us hardworking animators, we get like 9 views. 5-minute crafts, 9 billion views. And the worst thing is I genuinely fear for the people who follow this advice. If you like my videos, remember to comment, like, and subscribe. And if you're interested, this Saturday on Instagram Live at 7:30 AM, Colpin Land, who is a fellow animator on the tubes, we are doing an interview together, so check that out. Stay groovy, wild bunnies, and I'll see you all later. Doesn't seem like how I should apply my foundation, but you know, I guess if they did it in a video, it must be right. You know, everyone's a professional makeup artist on Instagram, so